Hi, so my name is Rain, and this is my story. So the reason why I have a mask on is because I do have friends around me, and we're still social distancing. Some of them haven't got vaccinated, so to make sure it's important to still wear a mask. In other words, so my name is Rain. I am a Latina trans woman. I was born male. Now I am female. Name change legally, gender. I am a now I am a woman. So the reason why you see me like this, since my creation it is called Unfiltered Wings. I wanted to be as authentic as myself. I wanted people to see me as myself and not the glam that you see all the time on social media. This is why I named my creation Unfiltered Wings, because you get to be your true self. You get to inspire others that you don't need to be like the other people on social media, on Instagram, having to be glammed up, having to live or be a certain way. We are all human. We under all that makeup and hair and glam, we are just a regular human being. So this is why I'm doing my coming out story as not glammed up, the hair, the makeup that everyone sees all the time on social media. This is my truth. So so when I first came out, I was about 13 years old. But my whole young life, I guess you can call it toddler life before I hit my teenage years, I did notice I was different. I did like boys. I didn't like girls. I loved playing with girls. Like, I loved the whole Barbies, dress up, makeup, pretty hair, all that stuff. I loved it. I loved being the Pink Ranger. Well, me and my cousins would play. My cousins can say that. I liked always the whole feminine, being a girl, being like so freely, liking the colors you like, pink, purple, yellow, all the pretty colors, glitter. But the outside, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I knew I was born a boy. And there was just things about me that I didn't understand. I didn't understand my body. I would say, it's like, why do I think like a girl? Why do I act like a girl? Why from the outside do I look like a boy? I didn't understand it. It was a very confusing thing for me growing up. I didn't know what to do, what to expect. So as I got older, I started to try to figure out who I was. Unfortunately, certain things happened to me. I was raped by a family member. For a while, I will not say names or give out any type of clues, because I know family members are watching this, but I forgave that person. And this is not the reason why I am who I am now. That has nothing to do with what happened to me. A lot of people think that you being raped or some type of sexual thing happened to you as a child, think that that's what made you who you are. No, it's not the case. I knew before that incident happened to me that I was someone different. I was different. And growing up as someone who was trying to find out who they were, it was really hard and complicated, and many people didn't understand me. I try to keep it a secret. As years went by, when I finally hit 13 years old, I did come out to my family. I told them that I was gay. I was expecting a reaction of, it's okay, I still love you. I just thought everything would be like just all rainbows and glitter, but it wasn't. It wasn't like that. It was very hard for my mom. She cried. She didn't understand what I was going through. She thought I was young. I was too young to just say that. She thought she failed as a parent, but she never did. My mom and my dad, well, my stepdad, who is my father, did everything they could to give us the best life they could. It was very, when I came out to them and didn't get the response that I thought that I would get, it was really hard. I instantly at that moment, I regret everything that I came out to my family. It was the hardest thing. I wanted to die. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. I started to think suicidal. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to be around anybody. It was just the hardest thing to live as a child, as a teenager. I felt like my world was crashing down on me. I felt so pressure. I was trying to hide myself from the world. I went into a dark moment in my life. It was scary. I wanted to kill myself. I tried a plan to try to commit suicide. I tried to find ways that would be easy for me to just go, and I would feel like maybe my parents will be okay if I die and not be here. Maybe it'll save them the embarrassment from the family to know that they have a gay child. But a fire inside of me, something inside of me was telling me like, no, this is not the way. You're gonna live your life and you're gonna be you. You're gonna become someone. You're gonna live your true self. I accepted it. I started, it was still hard. Everything was new to me, coming out to my friends. I did lose one of my really good friends growing up because of who I was. But it just really showed me that, there's a lot more people out there. So coming out, when I finally was going through high school, and through my high school, my freshman year, I knew, I was like, you know what, I'm a trans woman. Like, I know what trans stands for. Like, I started to do my research on what trans was, and it wasn't so much out back then, but I was able to understand it. Give me one moment. Sorry. So I did say this is an unfiltered video. So I did my research what trans was. And it was someone who was born in the opposite body, who identify as the opposite sex, and all that fit in me. Everything that I was reading up on was like, that's how I feel. I was like, so I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Like, I don't like being a boy. I like wearing women's clothes. I like being feminine. I love makeup. I love doing my hair. So like, I'm not a boy. So when I came to the terms that I was transgender, I actually was able to discover more of myself when I did drag. People back then would know me as Danity. If it wasn't for a great girl that I met, a friend, Kelly Valentine. She was the first one who put me in drag and showed me was that I can change my look, that I can be this person. And she gave me my signature look in the beginning. I still was new to the whole drag, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm a drag queen. Maybe that's what it is. So I went through the phase of a drag queen, getting dressed up every day. By the time I was like 16, 17, I started going to drag shows, started going to Club Escape. I did the whole drag, and that's how I started. But still, when I would take off everything at night, I still felt that emptiness in me. I felt something was missing. I was like, no, I'm not just a drag queen. I thought I was just a drag queen. When I finally knew that I can change myself and look a certain way, I was like, I'm just a drag queen. But then I realized, like, I'm not a drag queen. There's something more to it. It's like, I know I have to be. I am trans. So when I started, a few years passed by, I decided to, 10 years ago to be exact, I moved to San Antonio. But prior to that, I already knew I was trans, so I started being more feminine, getting dolled up every day, living my life as a woman. So for the past 15 years, I can say, since the age of 19, I was living my life as a trans woman. I am 29 now. Many people don't know that because I tell everyone I'm 25 because I don't like to get anyways. So yeah, so I started living at 15 years ago. I started to live my life as a trans woman. Here, getting to San Antonio, I discovered my life more. I was able to be myself, true self. It has always not been easy to be a trans woman, living in a world that we live in today, where you're judged by who you are, what you look like, what you wear, where you're from. It was hard. I've been working in businesses. One of them, that when I first got here, I was working for a call center called Alogra. I can't even pronounce that damn word. It was known as West back then. I remembered nobody knowing that I was a trans woman, and I was a mentor, and I remember walking in front of so many people, helping them out with their calls, and being outed by my supervisor named Claudio. He called me a sir in front of everybody, and he kept calling sir, and I was all like, who the fuck is he talking to? I was like, and I looked around, I was like, I'm the only mentor walking right now. So I was like, who the fuck is he calling? So he ended up coming up to me, tapping me on the back and be like, sir, I was calling you. I turned around and I fumed up. I cussed him out. I told him, you see a woman? I was like, where do you see a man? I introduced you as my name as Rain. You completely see a woman. You don't see me like this without no makeup. You see me with makeup, glammed up, everything, looking like a woman, freaking dressed and everything. I was like, how do you confuse me as a man? Just because my profile says that my old legal name was on there, that doesn't mean you can call me that. And I blew up. I didn't know that among all my other peers there was other trans women who were not living their true self because of discrimination, because of things that people treated them and things they said around them, made them afraid, made them go into hiding of being their true selves. I'm glad that day happened, because I was able to give and inspire and give those other trans women the courage to come to work, to be them true selves, to go use a bathroom that they wanted to use, that they identified as and looked like. They had that. It sucked that I had to be the one to be outed and embarrassed I became the topic of the call center. But I was so glad though that I was able to stand my ground and stand up to a bully and to someone who thought that it would be okay to make fun of me for who I am or who I was born. I'm glad that happened to me that day, and I was able to inspire other trans women to come to be themselves and live their true selves. I know another question was, how has being trans affected my life? How do I feel about what people think about me? I don't care. I am unapologetic. I don't care what people think of me, what people say about me. Trans is not always about being glammed up, about having makeup on, looking girly all the time. No. There is women out there who are not glammed up every day, who are not so feminine. My aunts, some of them dress like boys, butches. Like, no offense to anybody, so hope don't take this offensive, but you know what I'm getting. Like, you don't have to be glammed up to be a trans woman. You don't have to be. You feel that you are a woman and that's how you live your life. You are a woman. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not pretty enough, you're not glammed enough, you don't have female features. No, you don't. That's not what trans means. Trans does not define you by the things that you wear, the way you look or dress. So that's one thing I want to clear up to people who think that you have to be glammed up 24/7. Because goddamn, I would love to know who is glammed up 24/7. Literally wakes up and sleeps in makeup. Because damn, like, it's just insane when people think that that's what trans is. No, it's not trans. Trans is being your true self, being who you identify as. Live your life. Live your life for you. Don't live your life for someone else. People are always gonna talk. People are always gonna say things. No. Another question was, so in my previous interview that I had with my organization that I work for, I know it says, because a question was asked to me was, how is me being part of the LGBT, what does, like, a way that it helps? I like being part of the LGBT. I work for an organization, a nonprofit organization, that we get to help our community with HIV, STD testing. So many things that we get to help people. For a very long time, I feel so lost. I feel lost because I didn't know what my purpose was in this world. And I finally found it. I finally found where I belong. It's helping my community. To this day, we are still being faced with so much stigma. We're being trans, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and plus, we are still being discriminated. There's resources that are denied to our community or to the minorities. So for many of y'all may know that I recently lost my little brother back in March. Before he passed, when I found this organization and I started working, my little brother did come out positive for HIV. It gave me strength, and it gave me a platform to continue helping people. He's all I wanted to do was to help. Because of him, I saw how much he got discriminated to doctors. I would take him to the doctor visits, and just seeing the discrimination that he had was so hard to see, that just because he was positive. When I finally got him into the clinic at my location, I did everything I could to help him, to make sure he was on his medication. And every patient that I have diagnosed since I started this organization, it hits home really hard. Unfortunately, my brother took his life. I believe that he felt that he wasn't loved and he didn't fit in. Being already discriminated by our community, by people not understanding what HIV is, not being educated, being very ignorant about it. I feel my little brother gave up on himself, and it hurts me and it kills me to this day that I wasn't able to do as much as I wish I could have done. But I know my purpose is to continue helping our community, and not just our community, helping everybody that are living with HIV. So I know if anybody out there is seeing this video and you are living with HIV and don't have the resources, don't have someone you can talk to, you can always message me, inbox me. I would be more than glad to show you to our organization, get you the help that you need. Don't let people tell you that you don't matter, because you do matter. This world that we live in is so hard and complicated. It is very hard. Sometimes, as much as I wish I didn't live from this generation, I am glad I still am, because we get to make a difference. I get to make a difference. I have a platform now that I'm going to use it for good. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm not taking life for granted. Life has taken me on a whole different, taken me in different journeys. I made bad choices. I was never perfect. I did what I had to do to survive. Being a Latina trans woman is really hard. If I had got asked if I would ever change, if I had the power or one wish to change my life and live a normal life, they said, would I do it? I said no, because my life is normal. Just because I was born trans doesn't mean my life is not normal. I wouldn't trade my life for anything. My life journey has made me the person I am today, and I would continue to be a voice for so many people, for people who are afraid to live themselves, people who are afraid to be judged. So I tell people who are afraid to come out, be yourself. You get to live one life. This is not the end of your life. This is just the beginning. So don't be afraid. I got asked another question, was how is my relationship with my family now? My relationship is amazing. I have supportive my dad, my mom, my sisters, which I love so much, my brother. My brothers are very supportive. My closest friends and family, thank y'all so much for loving me and accepting me for who I am. One person that I wish that could and would have respected me as the person I am is my biological father. Many people don't understand, and I don't open up much about it, that it does affect me. It affects me in so many ways, because for a long time I did feel that I wasn't good enough to be his child or to be accepted as myself. It was hard for a very long time. I don't have a relationship right now with him. I decided about 5 years ago to cut that relationship, because I didn't want it to be a battle that I had to try to fight for my dad's love, try to be accepted. I cut all ties with him. So I wish that was one person that had understood me. I mean, I'm grateful that I have a relationship with my little sister Haley, my brother Esteban. I know I don't get to talk to them every day, but I just want them to know that I do love y'all. I do care about y'all. So yeah, that's where my relationship stands with some of my family members. Everything now has gotten better. I'm grateful for my life, for the organization I work for. I'm so thankful for all that. So for this month of Pride, this is the first time I've ever done my coming out story. I think it's the perfect time, because now as a person, I've grown. I become the woman I am today. So yeah, so live your true self. Be you. Don't be afraid. There's a lot of certain things that I didn't put in there because it's stuff that in this video, there's certain things that I left out was because I want this video to be positive. I don't want it to be just about my bad stuff growing up. It's about, I pinpoint the most important things in my life and where I stand now. So live your true self. And with now that I am creating or organizing my own organization, which is called Unfiltered Wings, you get to be yourself. You get to live yourself. So you get to unleash your inner phoenix. We all rise from the ashes. We all go through, our story is so different. We all have different journeys. With the next few weeks, I will be posting stuff about what more things I'll be doing with my own organization. So yeah, so this is my story, and when I know that so live your true self thing. And my final question that was asked to me was, what would I want to be remembered as? Since this probably be one of my one and only videos that I would create something like this, I want to be remembered as Rain, not for being a trans woman, not for being, just for being me. I want to be remembered as someone who broke barriers to show our trans women especially that you can be anybody you want in this world. You don't have to live the life that people tell us that we have to live. We are not just some sex worker. We're not some fantasies. We can have it all. You work hard and you believe in yourself. You first you gotta accept yourself and believe in you. You can be anybody. So I want to leave this video with, I want to be remembered as just Rain. Being true to myself, breaking those barriers, and definitely living my footprint in this world. So thank you guys for listening to my story, and my inboxes, my comments will always be open to everybody. So happy Pride.